Hello. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So, today, what I'm going to talk about is that snake or that serpent in Genesis that tempted Eve. Okay. So, from the get go, hopefully, this doesn't disappoint anyone, but no, there was not an actual snake in the tree that had this miraculous gift of speech. Okay. That's false. All right. So basically, this snake or serpent is a universal symbol. It basically represents the true God and the true Father, and what they stand for, which is enlightenment, transformation, um, the eternal cycle of renewal, the cyclical nature of the universe, creation out of destruction, life out of death. Basically, just like a snake, it's to shed what no longer serves us. So it's all these concepts that embody the true God and the true Father. That's what the serpent or the snake represents. And that's why in various cultures, especially ancient cultures, and even now, various cultures around the world, the snake is present in what archaeologists have found, as well as in worship, even today. So, as I said, the true God and the true Father are not ones that want exclusive devotion, like you have to just worship them. That is not them at all. Like it's the complete opposite of this rebel God. That's why the sun, the serpent, and various aspects that actually represent truth and the true deities are acceptable to the true God and the true Father. It's very simple. But this is why we find symbols of the sun, the cross, the serpent, the snake throughout different civilizations and cultures, especially ancient ones. Okay? So, this term is actually, the Greeks termed it Ouroboros. And it basically translated means tail devourer. And once again, this is that cycle. So yeah, so this basically originated in ancient cultures. And once again, I told you that the Bible is composed of ancient manuscripts and writings, which go back tens of thousands of years, not just a mere 2000, like from Jesus's birth to death. That is not what the Bible is actually composed of completely. Um, so yeah, now that you understand this concept of enlightenment, transformation, birth, death, renewal, ascension, these words that were said by the Lord God in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 17. And to Adam he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return. You see, the end is that cycle. They were born of dust, they're going to return to dust. So it's life and death, this cycle. But also, if you notice this life cycle, he had pronounced on them a judgment as well, like he did before. But this judgment was that this whole life cycle would now be basically a burden or a toil, and the snake would crawl on its belly. So This enlightenment, this transformation, this concept that also stood for the true mother or God and father, as well as them, would suffer. Basically, life would be a burden because to crawl on your belly is something that if you try to do, it's very burdensome. It's a chore. It's not pleasant. So, this is what these words that this Lord God or this rebel spoke, and this is what he meant. So, this concept of the snake was something that this rebel God was actually against because of what it stood for. Once again, just like the sun, just like the cross, the snake also is that symbol, which is why he also made these pronouncements of putting enmity between, yeah, in verse 3, verse 15, enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. It has many meanings actually, but it's this whole concept of this serpent, this universal symbol, and what it stood for. This Lord God, once again, his feelings were hurt, so he reacts in a way that he does. So he pronounced on his own creations that they're going to suffer and toil throughout life until they die. And that is exactly what we see today. You see birth, and as soon as children are old enough to go to school, they toil through school. Then they have to toil through working to make a living. And then they have only if they're fortunate, a few short years of retirement before they die. And this is the cycle. It's really not something that was planned for creation in general, but this is what the Lord God wanted because he did not intend to make his creations to live forever in the first place. Basically, what he wanted to do was create these primitive thinking, always under his control beings that would always do his will and not be able to use free will and think freely for themselves. And he put all of these different burdens and barriers in play. So this would happen. And even religion is one of those. To really keep people from becoming enlightened and to stay in a state of control so that these dark energies and forces can remain in power and control. If you can keep the being figuratively stupid, then you can still control them. And if you can really make them die and forget their past, they will never learn from the past, and this cycle will just continue on. And this is exactly what this rebel or Lord God has done. He made creations that die, lose consciousness, and would never remember the past. So they would just repeat the same process, and he would continue to remain in control. But that's why these immortal beings that were created have to come in order to educate humanity about what's really going on. And at the end of the day, humanity does have the power to create their own future and their own destiny. But they're waiting for a higher source to act on their behalf when all along they have the power themselves to do this. Anyway, so I hope this made sense. As usual, I will try and leave some information either in the comment section or in the description box of this video for you to actually research yourself, because I do encourage that. Whatever you can research, I want you to research. This is not like the Jehovah's Witnesses who say don't research, just, only use the information I'm giving you or we provide for you. I'm not like that. There are some things that, yes, I tell you that there is no amount of research you're going to find somewhere to find the information because it's coming from a higher source. That's just what it is. So, yeah, that's what I'll do. So, okay, until my next video, I love you all. Stay strong. Please do not let these evil energies that are using people around you to get you down and make you like them, because that's what they want. Don't become that. You're better than that. Okay, take care. Bye.